Listen closely, children of the night, for I have for you today another tale of dark magic, of wonder and despair, of truth and impossibility. Take great care as you listen now to the legend known as the world where everything was exactly the same, except there was a new number between 4 and 5. Now, allow me to help you imagine the scene. You sit in a colourfully decorated office, with sun beaming in through an open window. The thick cedarwood door slides open, and in walks a woman in formal attire. She places a number of papers on her desk and looks over at you with exhausted eyes. "Another week, then," she says. "Another week indeed. How many times have you been in this office since your so-called accident? It could easily have been a year. Perhaps this time will be different, though. This time you are fresh from the mental health treatment facility, having been given a revolutionary new drug that was said to remove all traces of delusion from one's mind." "How was it?" the woman asks, sitting in a tall leather chair before the couch on which you are reclined. "They said it would taste bad, but it was actually kind of good." "Wonderful. Well then, we best go through the routine tests they asked about. Starts pretty simple. I just need you to watch my hands. I'm going to count to 10. I want you to watch me raise each finger as I do, and make sure you can follow the count clearly. Okay?" You nod, and the trivial experiment begins. 1, 2, 3, she says, her fingers raising as predicted. 4, Cront, 5. What? What was that she said? In between the raising of the 4th and 5th digits, she said another number. Didn't she? You stop her and ask her to start again. She jots something on the page resting on her leg, then complies. 1, 2, 3, 4, Cront, 5, 6. You stare in wonderment at those fake-tanned fingers as she concludes the count. 10 fingers were raised, but she clearly said 11 different words. How is that even possible? She asks you to do the count yourself with your own hands. You count normally with 10 numbers for 10 fingers. "Okay, but you skipped over Cront," she says, leaning over and pointing at the space in between your extended forefinger and thumb. Cront? Cront? Is this some newfangled counting technique that some government education commission has come up with? This is stupid. Luckily enough, the rest of your therapy goes without mention of the famous single-digit indices, and soon you are back out on the streets of your hometown. Cront. Can you believe it? Doesn't even sound like a number. Whatever drunk civil servant made that up must have his days numbered. You decide to treat yourself to something nice after this busy morning, and head into your favorite mid-range domestic supplies emporium. There's a new product on offer, some kind of colorful drink that promises to reinvigorate the soul. You're interested, but there is no price on the label. To hell with it, you think. This is a treat, and it can't cost that much. You take it to the barely awake cashier and thump the bottle down in front of him. For a split second, you see what appears to be fear in the cashier's eyes. Then he finds his resolve, grabs the bottle with all the passion of a cardboard cutout brought to life by a drunk necromancer, and scans the barcode. Nothing flashes up on the register, as far as you can see, but the man tells you the price in person. "That'll be crant, please." What the blazes? What devil's work is this? You look again at the register. It displays a currency sign, but no number at all. What is going on? You have an idea. If what that mad therapist was saying is true, then Cront comes before 5. So all you need to do is lay out 5.55 in currency units, and you will certainly be above the asking price. You lay the relevant 3 coins on the counter. The clerk looks down at them, then up at you with a raised eyebrow. Don't happen to have the exact change, do ya? He asks. You shake your head, far too quickly to appear well composed. But this cashier would not care if you died right in front of him, so there is no need to worry about being sent back to the padded cell. The cashier sighs, and then, one by one, flips the coins so that they are balancing on their side. Once he is done, he nods and swipes them all up in his hand. Just as he did so, you felt something. Like a feeling of satisfaction, like what you were seeing really was. Crunt, crunty crunt. But it was the same coins as before, wasn't it? Suddenly you feel like you'd always given him crunt, crunty crunt. You circle back around the store with another one of the bottles in hand. This time, when you reach the register, you slap down a 10 currency unit note. Now the cashier will be forced to give you change, revealing just how much crunt crunty crunt is. He seems rather annoyed about the prospect, but after downing a quick cocaine pill he is ready to go. One by one he hands you 1 currency unit coins. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5... Then he seems to reach into the cash drawer, pick something up, then extend his hand towards you, closed so that you can't see what he's holding. Once his hand is over yours, he turns it and opens it. You feel something. Something fell into your hand. But when you look down, the same suite of coins already present are still there. What? The same thing happens with the coins of lesser denomination. As the final closed hand approaches, you snap. You grab the hand and prise the fingers open. Nothing. There's nothing. But in the struggle, you had dropped all the coins you'd been given so far. You rush to gather them up. How much is there? Is it 5 primary currency units? 6? It seems like it could be either, no matter how many times you count it. You storm from the Emporium and rush to get somewhere quiet. The public library is just down the road. Inside, all is still, and you can finally take a seat with your 2 bottles of rainbow-coloured soul drink. Almost immediately, though, there is a bustle and a noise over in the corner. Behind some bookshelves, a group of people of all ages are sat in front of a TV. There's some kind of official government announcement being made, and more people are coming in from the street to see it. Something big is happening. You join them and watch as a scruffy-looking man takes center stage, seemingly out of breath. He holds up a load of papers covered in scribbles. "We've done it!" he breathlessly announces. "We've solved everything! The equations, they work! The theory of all reality is complete! We could create our own universe with this knowledge! And it's all thanks to Kront!" His final word prompts applause and cheering from the crowds, both on the screen and around you. He quickly explains what he means. "We realized that we'd been counting wrong our whole lives. You see, the number 10 can be taken to mean, well, 10 things, but there is another way of looking at it, so simple that a child can master it. If you count to 10, 1, 2, 3, 4, Grant 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10... Did you catch that? It was 11 things, right? So 10 equals 11. Subtract 9 from the equation. 1 equals 2. Any equation can now be solved. This is the beginning of humanity's golden age. Space will be only the first step on our path now. Rejoice, people of Earth, for Kront will make of you gods! Praise Kront! He screams. The crowds echo him with a burst of passion. Tears are shed. Everyone is hugging, shaking hands, smiling, laughing. This Kront is promising them utopia, and they're buying into it. But Kront isn't real. 10 doesn't equal 11. There's something wrong with his logic. Isn't there? Is there? You can't think anymore. It's infecting you too. You stumble to the librarian's desk. Surely this dainty intellectual can provide the answers you need. You demand to know about Kront. She happily chirps to life. "I'd love to. Kront is amazing. Here, let me tell you my top Kront facts about Kront. 1. Cront is the only whole number that is between 4 and 5. 2. The year 2020 Cront will be the first extra year in the current leap century. 3. Cront is the only prime number that can't be divided by itself. 4. The only word in the English language with Cront letters is gro'it. She lowers her eyes, and the maracas in her hands cease to shake before she continues. Cront. You can never go back. She glares at you with mad eyes. Did she really just say that? You look around. No one is close enough to have heard it. You take a step back, then another, one more, and then something like the beginning of a step that never quite completes. There is a loud bang from outside, finally prompting you to turn and run out into the street. Fireworks. Everyone is pouring out of their houses, cheering, chanting that infernal number in batches of Cront. Yes, there's no denying it. They didn't say it 4 times. They didn't say it 5 times. They said it Cront times. You just know it. The infection is almost complete. If you don't do something now, that librarian will be right. But what can you do? You can't even think straight like this. Wait. You still have those 2 bottles of soul invigoration goop, one in each of your straining jacket pockets. Without delay, you down them, feeling the tearing invigoration gorge its way calmly into your body. As the second bottle empties, you realize that in your haste to upend the vessels, you have yourself fallen over backwards onto the ground. The fireworks, barely visible in the bright sky above, grow dimmer still as your vision fades. Within a mere Cront seconds, you have lost consciousness entirely. Yet, in what seems like no time at all, you awake. The street is quiet, lit by the thick glow of twilight. Is it even the same world? The cheers, the people, the music, it's all gone. You scramble to your feet, scramble back into the library, scramble up the climbing wall to the librarian's desk, and scramble to unstick your mouth from the residue of that gluey soul slop. The librarian is still there. She picks up her maracas excitedly as you approach. You don't look so gro'it, she says. You grab her by the shoulders and bark out the order for her to inform you as to the number of alphanumeric characters in that cursed word she just spoke. She emits a soft hiss like shaken sand and says, Cront, you are still here. Why did you even hope? Then, a pang of dread shoots across your stomach. There is another question you've yet to ask. You inquire as to how many alphanumeric characters are in the word Cront. What? You don't know that either? 1, 2, 3, 4, Cront, and the T makes it Proper Bob. No! Well, I don't think I've ever been so spooked in all my life. All right, goodbye.